Vlad, and we got E over here, introducing you guys to the Bandwagon. It's a new show in town here in the Twin Cities area. Basically, going to be talking about sports, local sports, professional sports, any sport. Right. So first off, we're going to talk about what's it? We're going to go first off.
I think we're going to go with where did we come up with the name Bandwagon, just to give a little bit of history on the Bandwagon theme. So.
Okay.
What do you think a bandwagon fan is? I mean, where did you come up with the bandwagon name, man? Because you came up with it. I'll give you your props on that, man.
Thanks, man. The Bandwagon, I came up with that. It took us a long time to come with a good name. We were going back and forth for like 100 names, but the Bandwagon seemed to be the best because that's universal. Every sport has teams, more than one team, so most sports, when it comes to on a yearly basis, a different team usually wins the championships almost every year or every other year. So you see different people hopping on the bandwagon, switching to their favorite teams.
Right.
Just like this year, a lot of people are switching to the New York Knicks since they got Carmelo Anthony and Amari Stoudemire. They've been a pretty bad team for a while, but now you see people got their Knicks jerseys on out there.
Right. And what's crazy is that when you hit me up with the name Bandwagon, I was sitting there, we was watching the game, and I was thinking about the bandwagon. And I seen a bunch of people that really don't go for the Packers, and I couldn't for the life of me root for the Packers. I mean, I came to peace with it, like, okay, they might do something, let them get their little stripes or whatever. But I was on the bandwagon. I've been a lifelong Viking fan my whole life, and I was on the Steelers bandwagon, like, whoop them. I needed them to whoop them because I didn't want to see Aaron Rodgers running up. And we live right next to, Wisconsin. I don't want them people rolling past my block with the flags on their window, man.
The Packers jerseys.
With the Packers jerseys. So I jumped on the bandwagon, like, okay, let's go with the bandwagon, because if you go anywhere, like you said, championship time come around and your team ain't gonna be there, you're gonna jump on somebody's bandwagon.
You have to. It's just in our hearts. It's in humanity,
Right.
Everybody wants to be a winner. If their team loses, then most of the time they hop on the different bandwagon.
I'm the diehard. I mean, I'm rolling with the T-Wolves, and they won like 17 games right now, and so I even got to jump on one bandwagon at the end of the year, like I think I'm going with the Bulls, man. I think I might go with the Bulls.
Thought you were a Heats fan.
Wade is all right, but Bosch, man, I can't stand that, man. I can't stand the whole way they put the team together, man. This crap about we need power teams, that's just BS, because if we living with the T-Wolves and the Bucks and, all the small market teams, and you got the Heats and the Knicks and, who all want to jump up and join up, man, I just can't stand. I'm like a David in the field of Goliath, man. I'm just sorry, I can't go with that.
It doesn't seem realistic, The Heat, they have 2 of the top 5 players in the league on one team. I mean, I was watching the All-Star game, and they had 3 starters from the Heat on is it the East? Yeah, 3 starters on the East. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Well, yeah. That goes back to they wasn't at their prime, KG, Allen, and Pierce. I mean, that's the big 3 right there. And then, of course, you got Rondo stepping up. So you got just signs of big teams stepping up. You are forming, like, even LA, you got, man, they gave away Paul Gasol, man, for nothing to get them to Lakers. It was a conspiracy. Then the owner, he used to, or Jerry West with the Memphis used to play with the Lakers. Man, they've been forming this for years. I think it's just about to go downhill from here, man. What you think?
Oh, man, I hope you're not dissing the Lakers, are you? I just because that's my team right there.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant's my cousin and all, but I just can't go with the Lakers, man. But I just thought I'm with fairness and everything gotta be fair. But when they had Shaq and Kobe, man, that wasn't fair.
Man, that was back in the day. They had Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone,
Gary Payton. So I think that's where all this forming all NBA All-Star team came from on your team. So I realistically see the Knicks doing that too. Of course, okay, they got Billups. They're really not counting Billups as one of the
an all-star
permanent people to their team, but he could bring points. He could bring leadership. I personally think they're gonna go with Carmelo, of course, and then they got Amari Stoudemire, and then they get the point guard from
CP3.
Tell me that's not gonna be it.
Oh, that'd be delicious, man.
So, like we was talking about football, I mean, the whole year I had different predictions about how last year championship playoffs run's gonna go. I had, of course, Minnesota as the NFL's favorite.
Top seed, huh?
And that's because I'm a homer, man. That's it. But to see the Packers, I mean, let's just break it down how it all went. You got the Bears, one of the last games of the season, lose to the Packers. If they wouldn't have lost that game, the Packers wouldn't have been in the playoffs at all.
You don't think so?
They wouldn't have. If they would have lost that game where the game was 7-3, I think that was the score of the game. If they would have lost that game, they would have been eliminated. Man. And so the Bears let them in. So how poetic is it for the Packers to then beat them in the championship game to go to Super Bowl?
It's ironic, huh? Man, it's tough. I mean, the Packers, that was one of the top seeds to be picked, first of all, to go to the Super Bowl. The Packers and the Cowboys, I don't know what happened to the Cowboys. They fell off far. But Aaron Rodgers, he's one of the best. And I hate to say it, he is. And I don't like to give Green Bay any props, but he is. I mean, to go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers seems almost unfair. It's fair to happen, but it's crazy.
We're spending a little bit too much time on the Packers tonight, you know. but good ups to the Packers. I don't know. Steelers had an okay game, but Ben Roethlisberger fought a good year. He was out 4 games, came back,
put him on top for a while.
Put him on the top. You just can't hate about that. But I don't know. Minnesota I'm bringing up Minnesota again because again we in Minnesota, but they're gonna have a rough time in their division with Green Bay and the Bears in the division, and then I see the Lions coming up, and so it might be tough for a minute. And so, who do you think? Do you think Green Bay is going to emerge again next year and take it all over? I mean, I'm just saying with the lockout right now,
right?
And like Minnesota, they don't got a quarterback, and they got to bring somebody in. And if the lockout go until September, and then you can't practice, you can't do any of this. So I think Green Bay is got an advantage on a lot of teams because they got everything already set up. And then they had how many players not even play because of injury and still made it. So
that's crazy.
So
Green Bay has a good chance of if the season continues. I'm pretty sure it's going to continue. I don't see them not playing football this year. That's just way too much money that they'll be throwing away. I don't see it. But for the Packers, I think it's a pretty good chance that they'll be back there again.
So as a lockout right now, you say you don't see them you don't see it not being a season. Why not?
I don't see the season. I see the season playing out as usual. I mean, they've talked about lockouts before in the past, and when you really think about it, it's $1 billion industry. Is it multi-billion? I believe multi-billion, and they're just talking about not playing a season. Man, you know how many tickets they sell for people going to games, how many fans, people buying jerseys, all that's just gonna be gone.
Yeah,
I don't see it.
But the conversation of why there is a lockout is, just I don't think it's all over. Okay, the owners want to play 18 games. The players don't want to play 18 games. They want to cut out. The owners want to cut out some preseason games, and the players want to get paid more. When you got rookies coming in making $30 million guaranteed contract, and that's the other side of it. The owners they want not so much guaranteed monies, and I think they just need to come to a consensus of what's fair. I think they just need to figure out what's fair. And of course, it's the player, the NFLPA, Player Association, going against the owners, and so they're just trying to make it favorable to both. So
as fair as possible.
I think that it's gonna be a good one because back in the last lockout, 82 and 87, I mean, who says who is gonna be like that? So I'm gonna just get ready. I love football. But if it is, we still have something to report here at the bandwagon. We have baseball going on and whatever. So
basketball, soccer, we might even throw that in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna go over that easy. But we'll see. Only time will tell, and we'll report as it comes. So just stay tuned to the bandwagon. So we'll see.
I say don't worry. We'll see football. I gotta play fantasy football again. They better have another season.
We'll see. Nice way of being optimistic. This year on the bandwagon, we're gonna be across the board, ranging from football to basketball to wrestling. And as of right now, we're gonna go to another topic. It's a man topic. It's about cars. Football and sports and cars all go hand in hand. So we're going to go and take it over to Nate at the Auto Show.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Twin Cities Auto Show here in Minneapolis, St. Paul. A great event, and this year we have a very exciting car. We have behind me, in very shiny colors, here's the 2012 Ford Focus, which we've been waiting for a while. Kristen's going to talk a little bit more about it, but it's an exciting car because it's out in just a couple of weeks, believe it or not. It's a 2012 model, excuse me, but it is out in just 3 weeks' time. So over to Kristen. She's going to tell us some exciting things about it.
Hey everyone, my name is Kristen and I'm here at the Twin Cities International Auto Show in the Ford display with something very exciting right behind me that I know you guys are going to love. It's the all-new 2012 Ford Focus. It's been completely redesigned. This is actually the design we've had overseas in Europe for many years. It's been doing wonderfully over there. We're so thrilled to finally have it in the States, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, as you can tell, it looks a lot different than the current Focus model. It's been completely redesigned inside out. It's got a very athletic design. It looks like the wind is flowing over it even when it's standing still. Now, my favorite feature on the new Ford Focus is the driver's seat. It is by far one of the most comfortable seats I have ever sat in. Literally, the reasoning behind the design is they wanted the vehicle to feel like it was an extension of you and your life. So the idea is you sit yourself in there, you plug yourself in, you got this really nice form-fitting cockpit. It literally wraps itself around you. Everything is right within easy reach, right where you'd expect it to be. We also have an all-electric version coming out. It's going to be a full plug-in, and what I can tell you is it's going to have a 100-mile range, and it's going to charge in half the time of the Nissan Leaf and the Chevy Volt and be cheaper for you too. So lots of exciting stuff with the Ford Focus. Now, I do want to highlight mileage on the regular gas engine. This is pretty exciting. You're getting 28 miles to the gallon in the city and 40 on the highway. So that's pretty awesome. You're going to be saving at the pump as well. Now, the last thing I want to let you know about is our new technology that we packed inside the 2012 Focus. It's called My Ford Touch. Now, we already at Ford have our award-winning in-car communication system called Sync, and that lets you pair up your Bluetooth-compatible phone, hook in your MP3 player, takes all voice-activated navigation, all this cool stuff, right? With My Ford Touch, it takes it to the next level. You get a really sweet LCD touchscreen, and it takes over 10,000 voice commands. It's all color-coded. Even if you're technologically challenged, you'll be able to figure it out. You can control everything from your phone to your navigation to your entertainment to your climate control. You can set the temperature. You can say what song you want it to play. You can tell your car it's hungry and it'll ask you back what you're hungry for. And if you say, for example, Chinese food, it'll pull up a list of all the restaurants in your area that serve Chinese and then give you turn-by-turn directions on how to get there. I mean, how sweet is that, right? So lots of cool stuff coming to you from Ford with the 2012 Ford Focus. Definitely check it out.
Well, thank you so much, Kristen, for telling us about the 2012 Ford Focus. I think it's going to be a winner with the younger generation. It's a hot car, affordable car, good gas mileage. It's going to stick around. It's smoking. Definitely go and see a Ford dealer and check one out, do a test drive. Sitting in here, the Boxer Spider S, actually just the Boxer S. The Spider S I drove last year, which is even more stripped down. This, the Spider S was voted America's best handling car. Like I said, this is the version down from that. Fantastic car though. This is a lovely vehicle. I can't sing Porsche's praises enough. They produce fantastic vehicles. If you get these things serviced and look after them, they don't break down. They have wonderful ratings from Consumer Magazine and really high ratings from in terms of customer satisfaction and that reliability factor. So if you're looking for a $70,000 sports car and you've got a bit of cash to play around with, this would be a fun car for the summer here in Minnesota. So I like it a lot, and yeah, go out and get one. The red beast is the Audi R8 for this year. 430 horsepower Audi, and it's, as you can see, pretty smoking. It gets to about 60 miles an hour in about 4 something seconds, I think it was. Yeah, 4.2. No, sorry, yeah, 4.6 seconds. I'll correct it there. I'm going to look at my notes. 4.6 seconds. It's a smoky little beast of a car. And I think Audi, they're going to do pretty well with this vehicle. Obviously, this red is pretty shiny and pretty exciting. And I think I want to drive one at some stage. We'll have to talk to Audi, I think. But I think this is going to be a winner. Lovely car. And as you can see, the cross-drill ventilated brakes. It's got all the bells and whistles, lovely big tires, and it's going to make a great sound. But, of course, we can't start it up in here, so we'll have to take it on the track somewhere sometime, maybe, eh? Okay, well, I guess that's it for now. We'll try something else. The fabulous Mercedes-Benz AMG SLS. This vehicle is a phenomenal vehicle. It's one of the most exciting things. You just look at that vehicle. It is just amazing. It's a around about just over maybe 550 horsepower, producing about 479 pounds of foot torque. So this thing absolutely goes. If you've seen it on the internet, on YouTube and stuff like that, you've seen it on Top Gear. You've seen it as a car that Michael Schumacher, Formula 1 ace, drove upside down in a tunnel as a publicity stunt, and it was actually a pretty cool tweaked video. But it's a phenomenal, utterly phenomenal vehicle. The gull-wing doors. Just the incredible sound. One of the most fabulous videos I ever saw is Jay Leno driving it around Mulholland Drive. This car just is so much grunt, so much horsepower, just one of the beastiest, nastiest Mercedes-Benz ever invented. And I think if you get a chance to see one up close, it's worthwhile having a look, because it's a fantastic vehicle. So I'm really excited to see this car in the flesh. It's been a while since I when I first saw it coming out, and to actually see it in the flesh is just amazing. It's so low, so squat, and so powerful looking. They actually use a modified version in Formula 1 as the safety car, believe it or not. That's how much power this car has. That's how phenomenal it is. So it's exciting to see it. So I'm going to try and get inside it, but I don't know if that's going to happen, because apparently they don't have the keys. What? No! So we're going to do some more prodding and see if they do. Behind me is, in my opinion, one of the nicest, hottest, sexiest American-made cars in the American auto industry today. It is the Cadillac CTS-V Coupe, which is a little bit shorter than the four-door. The four-door, a couple of years ago, went around the Nürburgring in some ridiculous fast time. It was the fastest four-door on the Nürburgring. Behind me, this car goes apparently even faster. It is a 6.2-litre V8. It's supercharged, produces 556 horsepower and a whopping amount of torque. Words do not describe the beauty of this car. It has, as one of the guys was saying here before, a mixture of the beauty and the beast. It's got the sharp angles, it's got the curves, but it's also something visceral, something raw, something that's animal about it. It really is a sexy, sexy car, and it probably is one of my favorite cars right now. It's available in the automatic transmission that's in this particular one behind me, but also in a 6-speed manual. Numerous options. I think the price starts at a base at around about $64,000. Which is a lot cheaper than the Porsche that we talked about just before, and you get a heck of a lot more horsepower and a heck of a lot more car. Price tops out, I think, at about $74,000, $78,000 off the top of my head there, and all sorts of bells and whistles you can get in terms of brake packages, so on and so forth. If you want the fancy wheels or just the shiny silver ones behind me. So many little things that you can get on this car, and a well-made car. For an American car, this is something else. So yeah, I could talk and talk and talk, and I got to stop, but check it out for yourself sometime. It's worth watching. I've seen amazing YouTube videos of this car blowing all sorts of vehicles off the road. It's fiercely exciting. So congratulations, Cadillac. Well, there you have it, guys. 5 of what I consider some of the hottest cars for 2011, 2012. We looked at the Mercedes, the Focus, the Audi, and Porsche, and of course we finished up with that fantastic Cadillac CTS-V. So that's it for this year. We hope you enjoyed our little clips, and maybe we'll see you again next year. See you later.
Thank you, Nate, for your expertise and for taking time to go down there and talk to people down at the auto show. And thank you for the auto show, letting us know more about what cars you do have there. So thank you again.
Right, so we're going to throw in a new topic right here. It's basically going to be about golf and Mr. Tiger Woods.
Even golf? We talk about even golf?
We're going to have to talk about golf, man. I was actually on yahoo.com earlier today, and I was looking at a topic. One of the headlines was Tiger Woods' ex-wife just purchased a brand new house. Guess how much it was?
How much?
$12.2 million.
No, that's a lot of money. It's like $12.2 million?
$12.2 million. Wow. I just read the article, and it was like, her house is actually bigger than Tiger Woods' house now.
Oh, wow. you know, when you sent me the link, I'm like, okay, $12.2 million. They said her house is 7,000 square feet bigger than Tiger Woods' house.
Yeah, a total of 17,000 square feet.
I have never seen her hit a golf ball in my life. And her house is bigger than Tiger Woods. I don't understand it. She got the beach in the back of her house. I mean,
that just blows my mind. I mean, to know that Tiger Woods has been working so hard with the golf and whatnot, and he's one of the the highest paid sports players. I think he's gonna be like, I don't know if he's made $1 billion yet, if he's the first or something. I think I heard something like that. He's the first sports player to break $1 billion or something like that.
Hey, what's funny about it is that her house is 10 miles away from his house. Do you think when she was talking to realtor and everything about it, like, let me get a house a little bit bigger than his. I just want to, let's put it right on the beach so I could go, you know. So her house is right on the beach. I think she did that to spite Tiger Woods. I think
it's dirty.
I'm going to be nice about
dirty,
it.
Man.
I think she was just trying to get in Tiger Woods and just say, okay, mine is bigger than yours. I got your money. Next, she going to be driving. She going to just drive past his house and just bark a horn or something. Like,
get $1 million car or something.
$1 million car. Where did this world come to? But
just blowing money.
Anyways, that's that's going to end the night right there. Tiger Woods. Wife, house bigger than his. Life isn't fair. Everybody remember that life is not fair. You guys have a good night and tune in again to
The Bandwagon.
Great night. Bye-bye.